On and around the Menominee Reservation in northern Wisconsin are now bilingual. The new signs are in English and in the Menominee language. The dual language signs first appeared last year and will likely be added in other tribal communities. In sports, the Packers lost to the Titans last night, 27-17. Badger volleyball's at Rutgers tonight. Football plays at Nebraska tomorrow. You're listening to Devil Radio, 92.7 FM, WTTN, 1580 AM.
It's time for the Packer Outright Opinion Show with the Hafeman Brothers. These brothers grew up in Packer country and are passionate, lifelong Packers fans. They tell it like they see it, keep things informative and entertaining, and have some fun along the way.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Bring your questions and comments and enjoy your time with the Hafeman Brothers.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Okay.
Fun along the way. We're going to have fun along the way.
We're trying to have fun. We're trying to have fun. Okay, we have some terrible Packer stuff to talk about. We are opening the phone lines wide open tonight. Wide open tonight. We did as little show prep as possible to give callers opportunities to air their feelings. Let's make this be an hour-long therapy session, and let's get our feelings out. We'll get into that. Before we do, we have to bring our producer, Evan, on the show. Evan, you, my friend, need to be here for this because Ben wanted to say something to you. I already said it to you in person, but Ben, go ahead.
All I know is I heard that some guy should have talked to me on Thursday last week. What were you doing? You should have talked to me, man. I would have told you. Think about this a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations, dude, for getting married last Friday.
I thought I was in deep trouble, you know?
No. We missed you.
How did you do?
He
did great.
Fine. Aaron, he gave us some extra Star Wars, some bonus Star Wars, so he did fine.
He had some issues that weren't his fault, but
no, they weren't his fault.
I know that game, but hey, thank you guys so much.
I've been there too, right, Evan? I've been there too. But Evan got married last week. That's why he couldn't produce the show. Now, Evan, you get married, you get a fart gun salute, my friend.
Let's go.
That's right. That's how much you getting married means to us.
Oh man, that's so sweet.
We spend generous airtime of Hafeman Bros airtime with a fart gun salute to Evan. Evan, congratulations, bro, on getting married. I should have timed that better. Congratulations on getting married. Is this thing working? Is this thing on?
Oh man, got to change the battery.
Oh, it's still
there
working.
It is.
Whoa, hey, ho.
Congratulations,
extra ones on the end.
All right. Well, we should probably just do a whole show about that. But anyway, Evan, congratulations. Ben,
that's awesome.
What are we doing here? What do you got?
Oh, I was just saying that it's a weird show because you do fart gun salutes for good things, but the fart gun salutes kind of remind me of how the Packers played last night. So it's like a weird dichotomy of good and bad all mixed in together. It's like the yin and the yang with fart gun mixed in there.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we do, man. It's how we roll. But anyway, in all seriousness, if you know our show, you know that the fart gun salute is an honorary thing. It's an honor, and we just gave Evan that honor because congratulations to him and his new partner in life, committing to each other. We appreciate that. Congratulations, you guys. Best of luck. And let the good times roll, right? You're young and in love, let the good times roll. All right, so the Packers are not letting us have a good time this season. Ben, there are many, many reasons for that. Holy cow, Lee's in the house. How you doing, Lee? Says his battery went out on his fart gun in that game. Oh, sorry, Lee. Sorry, man. Look, it was a rough game, but this was the time, Ben. I was so excited because we went through this weird stretch, right? Because last time we did a show, between last show and this show, the Packers played 2 games. They played 2 games, and we were like, oh my gosh, they could win both these games. And the tone of last week's show to the tone of this week's show, look how dramatically different it could be. And instead we went roller coaster riding for that 1 week. And we went way up here. And then we went way down here last night. And now it's kind of like, we're not totally dead, but we're kind of dying for the season. That's
you were way too convinced that we were going to have a happy show this week with 2 victories in a row. And I'm pretty sure you cursed them. It was all you.
Oh,
it was all you. And then you tricked me into thinking they were going to win 31-7 because I thought they would do what a normal coach would have his players do, which is, like play tight man coverage on the outside, bump the receivers so they're not getting easy releases, jam up the middle so you stop Derrick Henry. All those, like the jam in the middle stop Derrick Henry worked, but they forgot to like even cover the receivers half the night, if not most of the night. And so that was the issue. And then on offense, there's too many things to talk about there as well.
You're right. I mean, the offense definitely let the Packers down. The defense was again, it was an inconsistent performance, which is what we've seen all season long. But I don't think it was necessarily on the players too much. It's like you said, the defensive approach didn't make sense. It's like you're playing Ryan Tannehill, and I know you like Ryan Tannehill, and he's very good. He's a very efficient quarterback. He makes good decisions. He's pretty accurate. Like, he's a good player. Okay, I'm giving him that. But I'm not I'm not threatened by their wide receiver speed. So when it's 3rd and 3 and you're playing 7-8 yards off and as a corner, and your first reaction is to move backwards, and you just give them the 4 or 5 yard out route right in front of you for a first down over and over again. Like, what is that? What is that? I don't get it.
It's really dumb. That's what it is. I mean, I can't even. Our next show, I'm going to put a video together for our Wednesday show this week coming up. And I'm going to show Packer coverage against the Titans. And then I'm going to show the Titans covering the Packer receivers on the All-22. And just the difference between how it looks like when nobody's open and how guys are wide open constantly. And realize it's not easy on the offense for the Packers. And it's too easy on the opponent's offenses, based on what they're doing and what they're deciding the coaches are making them do. And if I was the players, I can remember a few years ago when the Vikings played the Packers, and this obviously actually didn't work, so maybe I shouldn't bring it up, but Mike Zimmer told his defensive backs to play zone and to not worry, like just do a certain thing or whatever it was. And the defensive backs did something really different where they decided to just cover Jordy Nelson and double team him at the time or whatever it was. And they got schooled left and right. They tried doing like single coverage on Jordy, and he beat the crap out of it. They couldn't cover him. And then, Zimmer was all mad and whatever. But maybe there needs to be a mutiny. Maybe these guys need to be like, I don't know what's going on. Like, why are we doing this? Like, what's the deal? I don't know. But it's pretty bad.
We got some comments here. We'll throw them at you here over the air. David's in the house. David, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. He says he's all out of adjectives to describe this team. We are too, David. Luck of the Ekis in the house says, hey, boys, Joe Barry needs a pink slip. He doesn't mean our dad. He means Joe Barry, I believe. He needs a pink slip in the offseason. His concepts aren't working. A change needs to happen. Well, that's true. Those concepts that we ran last night a lot of times would never work, have never worked, and should be thrown in the trash bin long, long, long ago. But again, it's the weirdest thing to me, Ben, because it seems like when the Packers played the Giants, they played this way. When they played teams that they shouldn't be threatened by the deep pass, that's when they played soft. I just don't get it. I mean, I know the Titans hit a deeper one early in the game, like right out of the gates, but that shouldn't make you all of a sudden be afraid. You have Jair Alexander, who you paid a crap ton of money to, right? Let him man up. Let him play people. Rasul Douglas on Treylon Burks was a great matchup. If you let him get his hands on him right away, Treylon Burks isn't running away from anybody, and Rasul is tough enough to stay with him. Like, those are obvious things to me as, I don't know, a guy who just is a fan and watches this stuff. And yes, I'm an award-winning sports journalist, but that's, neither here nor there. In this case, I see those things, and to me, that would make sense. I'd say, let's man up. Rasul, you take this kid all game long, and, don't worry. The other 9 guys can worry about tackling Derrick Henry if he runs in the middle, even though, I would have just took my 2 outside corners, manned them up, and done something different with the other 9 guys, played the right matchups, and not been scared of getting beat deep, because that's the way they played, and that's what gets you kicked in the butt, because they were doing a good job on Henry. Think about from the defensive perspective. I know a lot of people are hard on the defense last night, but from the defensive perspective, you're stopping this big freight train running back, right? You're doing a good job. And then on 3rd down, you play so soft that you give up first downs, and then you got to go right back and try to stop him again. It's just, deflating, and you got to think really brought those guys down and ended up costing them on some of those longer sustained drives because, look, we did our job first and second down. Let's just not play a dumb defense on third down, and we probably get off the field. Sorry, I went a little long there, but I had to get that out. See, tonight's about getting these things out, getting the feelings out. That's where we're at.
Well, I've got a beef.
Okay.
Whenever you want to do the beef, how much time we got?
We'll do it. We'll let Evan cue it up here. We got some time. We got 3 minutes. You want to hold till next segment, or you got?
No, it won't be that long.
All right, play it, Evan. Beef time for Ben.
We don't have a beef.
Oh no! Who's got the beef? And what's for dinner? Do you think?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be. With you.
There we go.
You want some beef or what?
Yo, what's your beef?
All right, here's my beef. This is my beef. I've been hearing this phrase now for like a month and a half to 2 months. I've been hearing how the Packers, they just don't play complementary football. That's what I keep hearing. Complementary football. What the crap is complementary football? I know they explain it. They say, well, when the defense gets stops, then the offense doesn't make plays. And then when the offense makes plays, the defense can't get stops. So it's not complementary. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. How about if you just don't suck? How about if you just freaking play man coverage and tight and don't let guys get easy releases off the line of scrimmage? You know, you make them adjust their route and you mess up stuff. How about you do that? How about if you call plays and routes and that are combinations to get guys open instead of running on 3rd and 3, 3 guys 20 yards downfield for some unknown stupid reason, and then Aaron Jones just sneaks out for a negative 3-yard pass, who Rodgers, of course, throws to, and then there's a linebacker looking at him and then knows it, and as soon as Rodgers starts throwing it, he takes off, and Aaron Jones makes a miss, of course, but then there's all of a sudden 7 more guys there to tackle him. How about, I don't know, if on 1st and 10, we don't throw a freaking 40-yard bomb and then make it have to be 2nd and 10. Because guess what? We suck at long distances. How about if you just stop sucking? No more complimentary. Complimentary is nothing. Just play better. That's the answer. It's not, we got to play complimentary football. No, just stop sucking. Period. There's no complimentary football. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm done.
It sounds like you also can't take it. We'll be back on the other side of the break. It's Hafeman Packer Outright Opinions. Call into the show, 844-967-2789. Be back in 2.
We got to get your sound bites in there next time.
Yeah, we'll get him in this next round.
Solid, dude. That's pretty good.
Prep cooks, dishwashers, pizza makers, bartenders.
When did
Do you enjoy
write
singing?
And host. Sales offers
What's
great
that?
pay.
Do you enjoy singing?
And health insurance available
Yeah, sometimes.
Like, are you still active in your band?
positions available
No.
in all locations. Madison,
No.
Winona, and Sun-
Me neither.
I don't have.
Now he
I don't
sings.
have,
Now he grows a white beard and sings Christmas songs in the
Yeah,
wintertime.
something like that.
No, but it's pretty solid, man. That's really good.
Thanks, dude.
You long ago, Evan. This is a funny story. We had when that album shortly after that album came out, they were in Madison, and I did an hour-long show with them on Wart, where we played their music and talked to the band. And Ben talked about the story, how that song was written, and he introed it super funny. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, I said it was about your job and how you don't want to work there anymore. It's just like that song, "Take This Job and Shove It."
Sure. Yeah.
Except it's the hard rock version. See?
Are you do you play an instrument, or were you just not just the lead singer, not like that, or were you the vocalist with a focus?
Well, I can play everything, but I'm not that great at anything. I'm like a solid drummer
Sure.
A solid guitar player, solid bass player, play keyboard.
Yeah, I'm solid on guitar and bass. I couldn't touch a drum set if someone pointed a gun at my face and said play drums. I got nothing.
Oh.
And same with keyboard. Even though it's all laid out for you, it doesn't. I just don't get it.
The funny thing is, actually, most of the songs I write on keyboard, and then I change them to hard rock guitar.
Me too,
which is really weird.
But it's not performative, right? I'm banging out a melody or something. I'll record. I'll use some MIDI so I can sort of shape it and change it up. But I can't sit there and really play something interesting. All right, here we go, boys.
Sounds good.
We're back.
It happened. Only on Devil Radio 92.7 FM.
Ben, what's the title of this song?
Oh, this and I can't remember.
It's got me wrong, dude.
Oh yeah,
It's got me wrong. This is now the
Yeah,
Packers
yeah.
theme song. All these people that were predicted to be the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season and all
God.
this sort of stuff. That's
I
why
thought
the
it was gonna
song
be-
is. That's what I did not. I did not. And maybe
I
that's
did.
why. That's why I still believe, because I never believed they were going to be a Super Bowl team, but I did believe they would be one of the top 7 teams in the NFC at the end of the season. I still believe that. I still think they have a way to do it. Look, we're
Well,
gonna
I
get this
think
stuff-
you're insane. You're insane. Then
Come on, man. Come on.
you are insane. Period.
Look, I know they got the Eagles next, but the last 6 games, most of them are winnable. Most of them are winnable, and I still think 9 and 8 gets you in the playoffs. I think 10 and 7 definitely get you in, and 9 and 8 I think get you in the 7 seed.
The problem is they've lost to all the teams that are just above them in the standings. So they have to, like the Giants and Washington, like these teams, even if they have the same record as them and they're already 2 games behind in some places, how are they going to possibly catch them? Because they have to beat them by 3 games. They have to win 3 games more than those guys in some places to get to that 7 speed. Matter of fact, Washington is the 8th team right now.
I
I
get
don't see it.
but there's a bunch of those teams got to play each other down the stretch. They're going to knock each other off. It's going to be the same sort of thing. And if the Packers just win some games, they could sneak right in there. It could be just like 2013. Hey, somebody who remembers 2013 is Raider Rick. He's on the line. He's here to bring some of his thoughts for tonight about this Packers season. Raider Rick, you there? How you doing, man?
Hey guys, I don't know how I'm doing. I got beefs. I got my own silent but deadly. I think the big, for me, after this week, it's just, it's so frustrating. There's so many things that just do not make sense about this team. Personnel decisions, coaching decisions, defensive schemes, offensive schemes. And ultimately, I think it comes back to the front office. I don't know who in the front office is making these calls, but, some of the blame goes on Rodgers, sure. Some of it goes on LaFleur. But, I really feel like the front office just pulled LaFleur's legs out from underneath him early on. They made it clear that, their guy was the quarterback. This team was built around number 12, and it lost LaFleur's any power that he had with the team. I don't think things are going to change until the front office, whether that's Murphy, Goody, whoever, executives, give that balance of power back to the coaches, whether it's LaFleur, whether it's a new coach, whoever, and put them in charge. They're the ones in charge of the team. And that's going to be impossible as long as number 12 is still there. He's a huge presence. He's casting a huge shadow. That's not going to change as long as he's there, whether it's changing over for next season, whether it's letting him play out his contract. I don't expect there's going to be any changes as long as he's there. I'm not saying he's the whole problem, but I just don't think they're going to get a clean slate and a fresh start and turn that page until that presence is gone. So
I think
my beef is my
you go.
is even front office giving the players more power than the coach, and my silent but deadly force that's killing the Packers from the inside is the front office taking that power away from the coaches. That's my 2 cents. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Raider Rick. Appreciate that. Hey, I was going to say, I think the shadow of the football thrown to Sammy Watkins was closer to him than the actual football last night on that one pass. And secondly,
Dude,
look, Mark, if you're Mark Murphy, Ben, right? You're pretty old. You're probably eyeing retirement right now. Just kind of keep things going a little bit, rake in a few more $1,000,000 on your way out the door, and that's probably where he's at. I mean,
Listen.
Gutekunst, he's got stuff to figure out.
I know everybody's calling for Goody's head and LaFleur, and I'm actually questioning LaFleur himself at this point. But the bottom line is this: when you hold a position in the NFL, that's a head coach or a general manager, how often do you watch those guys get canned left and right all over the league? All the time.
Yeah.
You think these guys are a little bit worried about losing their jobs? What happens if Jordan Love, if they decided, see a Rodgers and then Jordan Love stinks and the team stinks and everybody stinks? They won't get any grace period at that point because Goody handpicked Jordan Love. So they were forced in the offseason to make a choice. And Rodgers wanted to come back, apparently not wanted to be traded. And they were like, okay, he just came off 2 MVPs. Let's give him some dough. Then we're good to go, right? He can't be that bad. This team can't be that terrible. And we'll still have jobs for a couple more years. And if you have a couple more good seasons, right? Making the playoffs, that only builds you more, equity into the future when Rodgers does retire. And it gives you a little bit more wiggle room when they do have to blow it all up. That's what they were thinking. I don't blame them. It was a desperation move to hang on to what you've got. The problem is it was the wrong move, and we talked about that in January, that it was the wrong move. We've been saying it forever. But that's not the point. The point is, what do they do now? That's the real question. And I want to hear answers from that. Does anybody out there want to call in? Jace, give them the number. What is the answer to fixing the problem? Because the biggest problem is Rodgers. Is it to hang on to him and try to keep building and working with the team we have? We have some young guys who are ready to go and step up. They're doing it every week, but it's not going to be this year. Maybe next year they'll be ready to go, and Rodgers will be on top of his game. I don't know, or do we just be like, Rodgers, sorry, dude, we got to get you out of here? I don't know.
Well, you and I have talked about this before in other formats and on the YouTube channel, saying, hey, and you pointed it out very plainly for people. Gutekunst had a plan and was drafting players to fit Matt LaFleur's offensive system. Then they overhauled the offense and made this meshing of the Rodgers plays and the LaFleur system. And now you have half of 2 plans moving forward and no full plan moving forward. And the 2 plans don't mesh and the players don't fit here and they don't fit there. So that's a big part of the issue. As you plainly told
no
people.
Plan. And the defense has zero plan.
And the defense...
It's special teams.
Yeah. And the defense is not giving their guys a chance. I mean, if you get beat, you get beat. I'd rather go down swinging than sit there and let them take it from you right in front. All right, we got long break coming up. We got more callers, and we got some Matt LaFleur sound after this.
Something's gotta turn out right.
Hi, this is Brad from Zero Res. If you need someone to help with your carpet cleaning,
look at this. The Packers broke Eckes, Ben.
I know.
They broke Eckes.
If there's one guy in this world who I never thought would be giving up on the season, it's that guy. That guy's never given up on anything. I needed him in college to make me feel better because I was always so dang pessimistic, and he was Mr. Optimistic, and he helped me he helped bring me up a bunch, make me get through a bunch of stuff. Because he's the most positive guy I've ever met. And even the Packers have destroyed Eckes. Mr. never worries about stuff. Mr. I see the silver lining in every single thing that happens, even terrible things. He'll find the one good thing. And there'll be 75,000 bad things. He'll find the one good thing. And even he has given up on the playoffs this year.
Stephanie Miller Show right
well,
here on 9.
I haven't given up.
Well, you're insane. We already established that.
I'm telling you, 9-8. Come on, man. Come on.
Dude, they ain't going to get 9-8.
They
There's
could
no
do it.
friggin' way.
They could do it.
Not with this quarterback, and not with this defense, not with the way they play defense, and not with this quarterback. It's not going to happen. It's not because he will not allow them to. He leads the league. Going into this game, he led the league in touchdowns. Yet we have no wins. How? And we're barely scoring points. Why is that? Because every time we get in the red zone, it's pass. Aaron Jones only has 5 rushing touchdowns this year. No, 5 total touchdowns. I take that back.
Yeah, mostly receiving.
Oh, you got more. You got one. No, you didn't get
They
one.
get
last night.
two rushing touchdowns probably.
I don't
Maybe
know.
three.
It's that's a problem.
I'm gonna go
Beyond
back to the
all
simple
problems.
answer. I'll go back to the simple answer, and
Jordan Love. That's the answer.
wow. No, there's a simple equation that the Packers once again replicated last night, which means a loss. It's just I'm gonna
39 passes.
39
and
passes,
19 runs.
19 runs.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
opposite of what they did the week before.
yes, when you're more than double the number of passes than you are runs, every time they've done that, they've lost every single time, and they keep doing it.
They doubled the pass attempts, but had the same amount of yards.
Yep.
Think about that.
I know. It's bad.
Think about that. There was no explosive plays. Maybe it was a couple. I can't remember anymore. Randall Cobb, I thought was awesome. I'll give him that.
He was great.
Thank God he was out there.
It was great. He was back. He was a difference maker.
Christian Watson did okay a couple times, and a couple times he was kind of who knows what he was doing. But
we got Bruce hanging on the line, and then we're gonna have to after Bruce, we'll get to the Matt LaFleur sound. So
okay,
Becca still loves the Pack. It's one season, silver lining. I get to drink a lot of beer watching these games.
That's the only get through it, I think.
Christian Watson's been a bright spot. 5 touchdowns in 4 days. Whoever got him in fantasy, smart move.
That's this guy. I'm real smart. I had him on my team. I drafted him, but I never played him all year. I think I caught him, and then I think I picked him back up again.
From Up North News.
We'll get to the special teams probably in the last segment, Eckes.
Good for the insurrectionist.
We got some interesting defensive stuff to talk about here.
There's no game to talk about.
Yeah.
Jason, Congressman-elect Derek Van Orden.
Also got Bruce dropped off. Oh.
He almost immediately declared his campaign for 2020.
Right. Oh, you got him back. All right. He's back. All right.
He's one of 2 Capitol rally participants about to serve the same Congress.
We back
to evacuate.
A little bit here.
Cook, who lost to eventual nominee State Senator Brad Pfaff, said on social media this week that she's, quote, not wasting any time letting Van Orden get comfortable. I've been hearing from a lot of you, she says.
Oh, I did not know that, Lee.
I'm bringing it back up.
I should be watching that a little bit closer. Their first under center play was in the third.
So far, if Pfaff runs, it would lead to an open seat in the state Senate in an area where
you gotta be kidding me.
Gains,
no wonder why they couldn't run the ball with the crap.
Years. For more,
we did a bunch of those outside runs early on. I don't know why. I was like, why?
Well, they also didn't have the ball at all in the first half.
Okay, here we go. All right, we quiz Ben again. Ben, what's the title of this song?
Crap.
It's Grind. Don't you get all of these freaking songs match the Packers season?
I can't remember. How's the chorus go again?
I don't know. I can't sing, but don't ask me to sing it.
Something.
Kevin, you're muted. We couldn't hear you, man. I don't know what's up here. What do you got?
No, that's okay. It's probably better. I was swearing. I was saying stuff. Yes, Pepsi didn't like at all.
So might see the won't grind or something like that, right? I can't remember.
Oh gosh, the Packers
I can't remember
season. The football season is normally a grind, but this season has been even a much harder one. First of all, we got the Packers wrong. Now we got a grind, and now we got a Bruce in the house. I believe he's back on the line, right? Eckes wants to get the special teams. Lee has an incredible observation from the game. But before that, Bruce from Minnesota, formerly from Wisconsin, first time on the show. Bruce, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
What do you mean
Terrible.
You're good?
What do you
watched that game? What the hell's wrong with you?
We just attacked you, Bruce.
Okay. Yeah, I'm frustrated. I'm upset. I'm annoyed.
What else you got? Come on. Ben says I'm crazy for thinking there's still hope in this season. What you're the ultimate pessimist. You're the anti-Eckes. What do you got for us? Surprise me.
I honestly, I got to be honest. I don't have a whole lot of hope the rest of the season. I know that we're technically not out of it, but this team's not showing me anything that makes me believe that things are gonna turn around. I mean, yeah, we had a decent game against Dallas, but you still have the same issues. You know, you have inconsistency with the offense. At times, you have inconsistency with the defense. At times, and they don't complement each other at all. So, last night was a perfect example. You know, I mean, you have the offense that stalls
three 3-and-outs in a row. You have the defense that gives up 3 drives in a row of points. You can't do that. And when it happens, you can just kind of sit there and say, pretty much say nothing, and know that they're not gonna win games and not gonna move forward here this season. That's just my opinion. So, but
well, Bruce, even though you live in the sad state of Minnesota, actually it's not a bad state. Well done on your election, by the way. But anyway, even though you live over in Minnesota, you are being heard right now in the Madison area, also in Amory, northwestern Wisconsin, on Lake Air, 1260 AM, and also 92.7 FM, 1580 AM here in the Madison area and South Central Wisconsin. Bruce joining us for the first time here on Packer Outright Opinions. Bruce, look, man, this is like you said, the thing seems to be every time one side or the other makes a kind of a swing in momentum and starts to get something going, and you need an answer from the other side of the team, whether it's defense or offense, they just don't come through. And that's been the story of the season for the most part.
Yeah, agreed. And to be honest with you, I think at this point in time, you really got to look at Barry at the end of the season here on defense and decide what you're going to do with him, because he, in my opinion, he's a zone guy. We have man corners, and he plays soft and plays soft man, and then he plays zone a lot of the times. And to be honest with you, maybe Rasul Douglas is one of the only corners that could play zone fairly decently. As we know, he's able to anticipate and things like that. But Jair is not a zone corner. I mean, we know that. Stokes is not a zone corner. It's just, and I don't know what Savage is as far as the safety, but
we're going to get into him in a second.
Yeah, ultimately, it's just, I mean, you really got to look at that, and I think you got to get rid of Barry, and you got to look at some options there, and then you got to start drafting, some guys that are a little bit more physical, and that's another thing. Defense isn't physical; they're very, very much athletic. Goot drafts, Raz scores, as we all know, and it's about athleticism with the guys, and they're not physical, and they can't tackle well, and I think that's part of the reason. So. That's
a great point, Bruce. And the you can't see more of a stark difference in physicality from a defensive perspective than when you look at the Packers defense versus the Titans defense, or versus the Jets defense, or versus the Giants defense, or even Washington for that matter, the way those teams attacked. Bruce, we got some sound from Matt LaFleur, so thanks for calling in. We appreciate you, man. Stay well, be well. Don't give up. I still have hope. I still have hope on this season. 9-8, Bruce. Count it. All right.
Great show, guys.
All right, Matt LaFleur, Ben. I told you. So Matt LaFleur, I thought he was mad. I thought he was mad after the game yesterday. I thought Aaron Rodgers looked sad or depressed. But
yeah, it was weird.
Today, Matt LaFleur put some specificity to some of the issues on the defensive end. And Evan, if you got him ready to go, let's hear what Matt LaFleur had to say today after reviewing the game film.
The thing that's disappointing is just the bus. When you have guys that don't play their responsibility, and you get guys running free. And that happened on a couple of those, really on 3 of the big explosive plays that they had.
Okay. The busts, he didn't like that. That happened on those plays. Matt LaFleur had a little more to say. What else did he say, Evan?
The 3rd down, we should have had a safety back there. Instead, we're cutting a short route, which should not happen. So it puts Keyshawn in a very tough position. They ran a 2-man stack, and we had 2 guys on. We call it a 7-7, a deep, basically a pylon route. We had 2 guys on the pylon, and Robert Woods is wide open, and that's like a 30-some yard gain. And then we cut the stomp route when they're backed up. The inside fade to their tight end there, and another 30-yard gain or whatever it was. So it's just, those are critical errors that obviously explosive plays typically lead to points.
One more from Matt LaFleur, and then we'll talk a little about it.
I want to say they scored on every one of those drives. So, it was extremely disappointing to have those coverage busts and to give up those explosion plays when those are preventable.
That gives me hope. Those are preventable. They were busts. And Ben, Matt LaFleur didn't say any names, but he did say a safety. We're supposed to have a safety back there.
That
he
doesn't
said,
mean, yeah, but
we jumped. Yeah, and I know some of the jargon you might not all of us understand, but he said we jumped the one route. Well, there was the one safety, number 26, who jumped that route and left things wide open behind him. He's putting publicly out there about Darnell Savage without naming him by name.
I don't know. I mean, I have to watch the film back again. I think on the play he was talking about, I don't know what happened, but we all know Savage stinks. That's not the problem. At least he's got answers. At least he has answers today. The thing that bothers me is when you ask him what the problem is, and he's like, "Well, if I knew that, well, then we wouldn't be losing or whatever." And then you're like, "Okay, well, then you shouldn't be the coach because you don't know nothing." But still, it's not like it's week 2 or the preseason. It's freaking week 11. And I know you had some guys moving around because of the Eric Stokes injury, and you wanted to keep Savage on the field for some dumb reason.
We don't know why.
But it doesn't matter. These guys have been playing for years. It's been 2 years in the same system. This stuff has been happening. It's you know how you fix the problem when there's guys who are missing their assignments and not doing what the right thing is? Just play freaking man then. Make it a simple assignment. You got this guy. You got this guy. You got this guy. Instead of trying to pass it off all the time or try to jump the route or do dumb stuff and I understand it. Rudy Ford jumped the route twice last week, got picks. Awesome. Rasul Douglas was playing at the line of scrimmage. He noticed that there was a play action fake and he jumped back, ran all the way back, picked off the ball last night. It was awesome. It was a great super
play.
Smart play. So maybe whoever he's talking about with jump the route is trying to make a play. Sometimes you're going to be wrong when you try to make a play. And that's going to happen. But you know what else can help is if you stop the route from the start. If when Tannehill gets the ball and he looks to see where the guy's supposed to be and he's not there because we bumped him on the line of scrimmage and we got the timing off, then he might freak out or he'll get off that and go to the next one. And guess what? That guy might have gotten bumped and then that timing's off. And then he goes to the next one and then that one's off. And then guess what? Act. But instead, we just sit back and let these receivers do whatever they want. And then so that as soon as he gets the ball, he looks, oh, that guy's open. Sweet. Boom. First down. It was 3rd and 9, and he threw a freaking 10-yard out route, and he was wide open. Oh, wow. Great job. It's not just the miscommunications and the wrong spots. It's the dumb play call on defense.
Right. Well,
it's just dumb.
Then this gives me back to this because Bruce said it. Barry maybe needs to go. Eckes commented, but after the season, why wait till after the season? Now you are at playoff time. Now you are still not eliminated. Do you think if someone else took the reins and completely played a different attacking style of defense, there could still be hope that this defense could turn into what we want it to be and thought it could be?
You know what I think they should do? I think they should let Joe Barry go. This guy that he just signed that got canned by the Lions, who's his buddy, just let him call the defense. Who cares?
Right.
It can't be any worse.
It'll shake things up. You get the attention of everybody, right? If your defensive coordinator's cut right now, and I mean, do it.
You also have to make it clear what he wants. Like if he's been saying this for years, that's how Mike Pettin got gone, right? Is because of the soft zone. Oh, I don't know why we're playing off. I don't know why we're playing off. Well, you're the head coach. You should know why you're playing off. It's your job that's on the line. You should be demanding that they're not doing this. Now, if you don't have the players to do it, then say, guess what? Our guys are better in a zone. That's a way of saying, guess what? Our guys suck at man press coverage. But tell us that. And then that's the reason. And then we won't, as fans, be like, why are they so far off? Why don't they keep giving this up? Oh, it's because they suck and they don't know what they're doing. Okay, well then do something different. And as a head coach, tell your defensive coordinator what you want. That way there's no issue. He's got to figure this out. He's got to take the bull by the horns and be like, dude, that's enough. Let's go.
Now they've made some personnel decisions, but Darnell Savage is still a huge liability on the defense.
Yeah.
I looked up some stuff. I know we've talked about Savage, but not everybody knows this stuff, Ben. Here is a striking statistic for you for Darnell Savage. All right. I'm going to tell you some guys here on the team. Kenny Clark. Does he make a lot of plays, Ben? Does he make a lot of tackles?
For the amount of money he makes, no.
Okay, Kenny Clark has played 549 defensive snaps so far this season. That's just in contrast. I want you to compare. Right now, he's got 41 tackles on the year from a D tackle spot. All right. Jaron Reed, another defensive tackle, guy that gets paid way less money and is not as sought after or thought about. He has under 500. He has 479 snaps this season. Jaron Reed has 37 tackles. Darnell Savage has played 678 snaps, way more snaps than either of those guys. Plus, he's a safety who's normally unblocked and should be able to get in on almost any tackle that he wants. He has 41 tackles this season.
How many missed tackles? 41?
Only three because he never gets close enough to tackle guys because he's not aggressive and doesn't go after them.
That's smart.
So,
I mean, he wouldn't have that many missed tackles if he did not.
You have a defensive tackle who plays way less snaps with almost as many tackles. You have a defensive tackle who plays about 100 less snaps, but plays a little more than the other guy who has almost as many tackles. Actually, the exact same amount. Kenny Clark and Darnell Savage have the exact same amount of tackles, Ben, in this season. That is a problem. Safeties need to tackle and need to come up and show run support, and they don't. By the way, I know Rasul was not as aggressive last night, but so far on this season, Rasul Douglas has 51 tackles from a corner spot, just in comparison. We got to get to another break.
I'd rather see pass breakups.
Hey, I'd rather see our safeties tackle some dudes. We'll be back. Packer Outright Opinions. Big show. Last segment coming up.
Let me sleep so my teeth won't lie. There's a sound from a voice inside.
Hey, where's the meat?
He's at home, washing his tights.
At Chad's Design Build, we care deeply about the quality of the services that we provide to our clients. An excellent remodeling experience requires communication,
Joker brand,
all of which helps to create a satisfied client.
Dude, I almost got fired and then thrown in jail today.
What? Whoa. What happened?
Okay. Shows move fast. You're producing, Devils is sort of just seat of your pants. You're just cruising, So I was segment 3 of hour 1. I was choosing a song, choosing a bed for a tune. And you guys know Michael Buffer, right?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I played Let's Get Ready to Rumble. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Now the main event. Let's get ready to run. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
My hosts start losing their minds. They're freaking out on camera. And so I turn them up a little bit. I don't have time to run in there because they are freaking out and they're just screaming, dump it, dump it, dump it. And I dumped it. And I think I did it in time. It didn't go out over the airwaves. It went out on stream, but not over, radio. And Michael Buffer will sue you for $10,000 for every station and every instance that you play those 5 words. And we were out on 12 stations.
Oh, Jesus.
It was in the safe folder. Like we have a big pile of music that's sort of safe for air, but somehow this one slipped through the cracks.
Dude, now you're telling everybody on YouTube that he's going to find this out and come after you.
Hey, man, I dumped it. No one heard it. It was an accident, in good faith. I'm doing my best, Michael. Michael, I'm doing my best.
Pretty sure he did not invent those words, but whatever.
Just so you know, there's a really awesome PlayStation game.
10 seconds, bro.
Called
Tell me
Pitball. that has that on there.
You
Where
can
it starts with him doing
both
that.
Bears and Devil Radio on the box.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Long about Saturday night. Yeah. Relaxing in the tub.
All right, everybody. Look, I'm done with all this now. I'm done with all the negativity about the Packers. We're moving on to happier stuff. We had the final little segment of the show. We had limited time. We got fart gun salutes. We've also got to talk about a little bit of exciting stuff. Number one, there's one Packer I'm kind of excited about. I would give him an oh yeah, maybe I'd give him all kinds of stuff. It's Quay Walker, Ben. Quay Walker is currently 11th or tied for 8th in the NFL in tackles. Got 82 tackles on the season. He missed a little bit of time with concussion in one game and stuff like that. But overall, that kid's flying around making plays. And last night, he just stuck his body into big Derrick Henry. He did whatever he had to do. I thought he was one of the guys that actually played last night and looked like he wanted to play hard.
Yeah, and Chris Barnes with that awesome hit to stop him on the 4th down to get the ball back or whatever it was, 3rd down. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I thought 3 of the linebackers played great last night.
Oh yeah.
Just the secondary sucked.
Kingsley Enagbare showing up. I mean, there's a lot of players on this team to still be excited about. Christian Watson, we got some excitement here. But that being said, if this season really does die, if it really is down the tubes, then we might have to start looking at the team in Wisconsin who actually maybe you should be hopeful for that they could win a championship. The best team in Wisconsin. And that's the Milwaukee Bucks. And the reason why we play Splish Splash is because 2 nights ago, Brooke Lopez was 7 of 9 from downtown, 10 for 13 from the field, Ben, for 29 points. Bro Low was lighting him up from deep. And what did I tell you? My favorite play in basketball, and not my favorite play, but the play that gets me most excited is if Brolo's splashing threes. So I watched the highlights on that, and I was jumping out of my chair just watching highlights because that's my man Brolo, 7-footer, 280-pound dude, standing 24, 26, 27 feet away from the basket, and nothing but net. Bro, low, better than James Harden. He was 2 years ago when I told Vinny and everybody that. He's still a better basketball player than James Harden. Take that. Get behind your Bucks, people. Right now they're playing the Cavaliers tonight, playing in Philly, but they beat the Celtics behind Brooke Lopez. It's 29 points, 113-98 the other night. They were plus 22 with Brolo on the court, Ben. Just a heads up.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Now, Giannis took a little bit of a back seat that night because Brooke was, lighting him up. I mean, why not? So he only had 16. He had 16 points, 12 rebounds. Brooke was splashing him. Bobby Portis only 10. Another guy I really like who's playing a lot right now is Javon Carter. That guy is a really good player for them. Really good guard. He's smart, makes the right play, can make shots. He's active defensively. So our show, what I'm getting at is if the Packers go down the tubes here, it might go from the poo show to the boo show. Bucks outright opinions. Just a thought. And if we do go boo show, I got a little sneaky suspicion that a certain state representative might join us to talk some Bucks because she's one of the biggest Bucks fans in the state. So anyway, Fran, you're always welcome on the poo show or the boo show, just a heads up. And we'll talk Bucks if you ever come on. Anyway, Ben, what do you think of that? Brooke Lopez, bro, low, 29 points on 13 shots.
I don't understand your fascination with Brooke Lopez. I'm sorry.
He's great. Come on.
Bobby Portis is more my kind of guy. I like the guys who run around, do crazy stuff, and get the crazy eye, and get all tough and smack people, and that's the guy I like better. Sorry, I'm a Bobby Portis guy.
All right, fine. Well, can we also acknowledge that the Bucks have just a lot of really cool guys to root for on their team, and they're a great team together. So, and they don't have a bunch of their players right now. I know the Celtics took over as the best record in the league currently, and but the Bucks haven't had Chris Middleton. Holiday's been out. Like some of the stuff, they got a short rotation because they got some of these dudes playing in. They got some rest going for Giannis and things like that. So, hey, they're doing just fine. They're doing just fine. I got to believe they got a good shot at making it 2 championships in 3 seasons here this season, but we'll see. Anyway, we're going to get behind our Milwaukee Bucks. One thing we also have to get behind is we have a special fart gun salute for tonight. Ben, would you like to explain to people what today and tonight is?
When I was in first grade, for some unknown reason, a girl was brought into our lives, and she was spoiled rotten and never had to do anything ever. She never had to do any chores. She got whatever she wanted all the time. She's Dad's favorite, by the way, just so heads up, just in case anybody wanted to know. But I will say this. Our little sister, Sarah, is, 29 again. And, or 39 again. One of those.
I think she's 39 again. Yeah,
something like that. Whatever.
Okay,
I know
yeah.
she's actually not any of those things. But she's one of the most happy, laughing, easygoing, kind of wacky, crazy sometimes, but also like just a fun person to be around. And if anybody deserves a fart gun, it's our sister, Sarah Kerbal. Happy birthday to you.
Now, Sarah definitely deserves another 39 fart gun salute. So we can't do the, like on Mom's birthday, we actually did on our YouTube show. Evan, you'll enjoy this. On Mom's 70th birthday, during the course of our YouTube show, we did 70 fart gun salutes. Because our show was actually.
That's impressive.
It was impressive, and a lot of people thought we couldn't pull it off. But the thing is, we just kept talking long enough.
Year. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Wow.
Yeah, we did a full 70 fart gun salutes during one show because the show was on Mom's birthday. So some of our shows are landing on relatives. Like if our show lands on your birthday, we're giving you the
buddy.
salute. Yeah,
Ooh, buddy, you heard it here.
that's right. So send in your birthday wishes. Tell us when your birthdays are. Let Evan know at the station, and we'll give you a salute over the air. I mean, come on. We might get a sponsor for fart gun salutes. Sponsor for birthday fart gun salutes on the Hafeman Brothers Packer Outright Opinion show. Now, there's no game this week anymore because we're already done, so we're not going to talk about the next game yet. We'll get into that next week because we'll have that game will have not been played and we'll be on the air again. But Ben, I still believe, man. You got 1 minute to tell. Well, you got about 30 seconds to tell people why I'm wrong. Or have I convinced you yet? There's still hope.
No, you're crazy. Listen, I do not want to. I don't like this team. I don't like watching this team. Okay, there are individual players I like on the team. Okay, but the total play of everybody, it just doesn't gel. It's not for me. I don't know what they're doing. I cannot get behind them. The coaches don't do the right thing. The players are doing crazy stuff. Rodgers is throwing like garbage. Offensive line can't block anybody. There's no consistency at all.
All right.
So there's no reason to believe. None.
Somehow I still do. We'll catch you next week on Pooh.
A little tick.
Oh, yeah.
We're all looking for things to be a little easier in our lives, and efficiency and organization are keys to success. For more than 16 years,
Nice.
The Office Products has
Thanks, Evan.
Terrible.
Of course. Hey, I get paid to be here. You don't have to thank me unless you really believe it, you know.
We thank you. We appreciate it, and
And
glad.
thank you for the kind words, man, at the top. That was great. That was really, really nice. Thank you.
You should tell your new bride, and I'm sure she'll appreciate that too. I'm sure she'll be
Oh, I
very
will. No, no.
impressed. She'll be very impressed that you got a fart gun salute because
You might
you
have
got
even
married.
heard it. I'll ask her.
Well, if she does it, you can give her your own fart gun salute tonight, just without the
Got
gun.
Good stuff. Good stuff. That man. And we're off the air. It's too bad. That'd have been great.
And Ben
That's
Ben
usually
always
how
says,
I do the fart salutes all the time.
you said
I mean,
your
fart
wife
gun,
always-
fart gun, fart gun, fart gun. Sorry.
You said your wife always leaves you, surprises under the blanket too. So
Yeah, she's known for that.
Far and wide.
all right, Evan, we appreciate
This
you, man.
weekend.
She
What's going on
graduated
this
the bottom she graduated the bottom of her class. Just so you know.
As the host of Let's
Oh, hey, I was going to tell you, Evan, before we let you go. So the show I was trying to set up on December 3rd is not happening. It's postponed. It's maybe January sometime or whatever. So that's I'll handle that. Be regular Saturday for me.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. If something changes or you do, reschedule it, just let me know. I'm happy to help.
Yeah, I'll have plenty of notice when we actually reschedule it. So it'll probably be sometime in January.
All right, cool beans. You guys got anything cool happening this weekend?
My daughter's musical.
That's
She's
cool.
Doing that. She's doing it right now.
What are they doing?
Mary Poppins. I'm not excited about it. She doesn't have a good part. She's got a stinky part.
Just bring a spoonful of sugar, make it go down. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of maybe a little extra beer sugar like Ekis would have. Have you ever heard of? Hey, I gotta ask you something, Evan. Have you ever heard of Beerios? I never heard of them either until Ekis showed me.
Is it an actual cereal for beer?
No, but Ekis would take Cheerios and then he would just pour beer in there instead of milk, and that was his Beerios.
I could see it being okay. I think, right?
I don't know. Ekis, did you invent Beerios? Let us know on the chat. He's still in the chat right now. Maybe he'll tell us.
Is he still there?
Tell us.
See, he invented Beerios. I invented the head sleeve. And we could have been famous and rich, but neither of us took it to the patent.
What's this head sleeve?
Oh, my God. The head sleeve. Okay. It's one of the greatest inventions of all time.
Uh-huh.
So what you do is you have an old ratty shirt with crusty pits.
Sure.
And you chop off the sleeves of a short sleeve shirt. And when you got long hair like you have, and you want to play basketball or something, you know how whenever you put your hair back in like a tie, it always falls out, and it gets all fraggy and crap. Okay.
Oh man.
You just take your head sleeve and you stick it out over your head, and then you pull it back.
You are onto something here. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I did that back in 1993. Okay, when I had long hair. And then, of course, Under Armour came up with their head sleeve about maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. And now they're making all the money.
Yep. They're not giving.
No, everybody's got head sleeves now. The Packer players got head sleeves on. Basketball players got head sleeves all the time. Do I get anything from that? No. I designed it. I came up with it.
As that guy, from The Princess Bride said, "Who says life is fair? Where is that written?"
It's not. That was Humperdinck.
And the other part about it is you're reducing waste because you're keeping those sleeves and those shirts out of the trash, and it's way cheaper, right? Like that. You're taking a t-shirt, converting it into a sleeveless shirt, and using the sleeves for that purpose. They're selling like these specific head sleeves for like whatever, $40 a piece or whatever.
You're enforcing social distancing. Like people are gonna stay far away, man. Those sweaty pits just on top of your head.
No. You wash
don't
it.
have to.
You gotta wash it. And there might be some.
You sweated it and then you put it on your head right away.
Yeah, I'm not saying you do it like after you work out or something. Like, come on.
I don't know.
You gotta you cut them off and you wash them, and then maybe you have like a little crusty pit action going on. But here's the deal, dude. You take that crusty pit part and you hide it by your neck underneath your hair. Nobody sees that.
And I hope you guys are writing this down.
I'm telling you, I could have made a fortune on this.
You could have taken that stuff to Shark Tank. And,
you should have made a fortune. Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't even acknowledge it. It's really tragic.
My fatal flaw is that anybody could do it though. So once the secret was out, they'd be like, "Wait, why are we paying money when we can just do it ourselves?" But Under Armour's been doing it for 20 years, making money off it. Anybody can just do it themselves. I don't know. Maybe I should get out on Nash and be like, "What are you people doing? Wasting money on these head sleeves from?" I don't know what they call them. I called it the head sleeve. I don't know what they call
wear
it.
several of them, one on your head, on your arms, on your legs and stuff. Yeah. Just go out into the middle of the street and just yell that. Really get the message out.
Yeah, I'll get the message out.
Be quite effective.
15-foot radius. That'll get it far.
Well, awesome. Thank you guys. As fun as always.
All right. See you
All right,
later.
Evan, I'm glad you didn't get fired.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
hey man,
that
it's
would've been
early.
weird.
Anything could happen. Good night.
All right. See you.
Good night.
Oh,
All right.
man.
I don't want to go too long. Anybody in the comments say any more? Care? I don't care. I'm done.
Well,
I hate
forgot.
Packers.
We forgot
what?
to get back to Lee's thing about. We got so many comments. Forgot to get back
What's
to
Lee's thing?
But his thing about the first play under center was in the third quarter. God dang.
Yeah. They didn't run that many plays. The second quarter, they had the ball for like a minute and 20 seconds or some crap.
Yeah. Please suck it out. That was a playoff game, and I thought so too. Like, why wasn't like there? I don't know, just energy and playing for. I mean, playing so passive when it's a do or die game. Like, I just don't get it. Let's see.
Oh, I know your LaFleur sound bites weren't nearly as juicy as you made them seem when you told them to me. I was expecting
they were too. He said because he specified safety. The one
yeah,
route
but that could have been anybody. It could have been
jumped-
Rudy Ford. It could have been Amos.
But
It could have been any of those guys.
No, because that other play, if you remember from the game, they showed the play and they talked about it. How the safety jumped this blah 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 route. And that was freaking Savage again, who jumped down on the stupid route when he was supposed to stay back. And then he left guys freaking wide open behind him. And he talked about specifically how they left Keyshawn Nixon in a bad spot. Well, who was the other guy over there on that play? It was Savage. So on 2 of the plays, 3 biggest plays of the game they described, he was calling out Savage without saying his name. That's why it was juicy, dude.
I don't know about that.
And
I
saying
think,
that publicly,
more into it.
No, I'm not. That's as close as Matt LaFleur is going to get to criticizing any individual player specifically. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Matt LaFleur is going to shock us all and take hold of this team and say, that's it, Joe. I tell you to be more aggressive all the time. And for some reason you're not aggressive. Like, no more. You be aggressive or you're out. And then maybe he's going to make some changes. Savage is out. I don't know. Maybe Matt LaFleur's finally going to do it. He's tired of leaving and losing. He doesn't want to be a loser anymore. They want to bite the ball. Ooh, Jesus.
They'll never release Savage.
Yeah, they won't release him.
They won't start Love over Rodgers.
He can at least be a backup, but yeah, let's see. Oh, Lee brought this up. Imagine what the fart gun salute royalties charge. That's a good point, Lee.
Well, see, the fart gun salute is something we created.
Kind of,
the fart gun's there, but the salute part is us. So they can't get us on that. They can't get us on that. We bought the fart gun. We can use it however we want. Therefore, we use it for a salute, which is our patented move, is the fart gun salute.
What else did Lee say? Oh, Lee's going hunting. Oh, he's going to send some hot sticks. All right. Rick likes hot sticks.
I don't know what that is.
That's just like, they'll make some jerky or sticks out of their deer meat and stuff. That type of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't hunt, Lee.
Guys.
We don't hunt
hunter guys, Lee. Our grandpa and our uncles were.
Dad never even wanted to go camping, so we don't.
Yeah, our dad hates camping. He hates outside. He hates ants. He was a mailman. So he was outside all the time. So he was like, why would I want to go outside? Like, I'm outside every freaking day. When it's negative 20 degrees outside or it's 100, I'm outside. It's like, I'm not going to go stay and live outside for like a weekend or whatever. So we never went camping ever. And you know what? I'm not upset about that because mosquitoes love me.
That's true. They do.
They just, it's ridiculous. I could put enough mosquito repellent on the freaking bathe in it and I'd still have them on me.
You could be down a pint in one day. You'd be down a pint.
I know. Like, I don't know why they never go after you. They always come after me.
Yeah, man. That's why
Olivia too.
That's why I stay close to you forever together.
Yeah, I know. It's a smart move.
Well, okay. I don't have anything else either. There's a whole bunch of things we can say.
I don't either. Yeah, there is a bunch. But it's like, what are my own, like the only thing I'm saying, like, I want to know is, like, the season's done, Chase. I don't know what you're thinking, but anyways, unless they put Love in there, then they might have a chance.
We'll take a quick peek at it. All right. I'll make my quick argument for you real quick.
You have no argument.
I do too. Let's just look at the schedule.
Are you going to look at the Washington schedule and the Giants schedule and Dallas's schedule and 49ers schedule and Tampa Bay schedule? Because here's the thing. We beat Tampa Bay, but they're going to win their division, so it doesn't matter.
Come on, dude.
We lost to the Giants. Even if we beat the Eagles, they're going to win their division, so it doesn't matter. But we lost to the Giants.
Yeah, but it's going to be those other
lost
teams.
To Washington.
Those other teams are going to lose games and win. They're going to lose more games. Okay, they're going to lose more games.
They got a 2-game win up on us already in column.
That's what everybody said in 2019 too. Like, it shouldn't happen, or 2013, but it shouldn't happen, but it did. But listen to me, man. Look at this. All right, Eagles.
I can't see
Okay,
anything, so
I'll
if you're sharing something,
I'll bring
nobody
it
can
up.
see it.
I'm not sharing it yet, but I will now.
Well,
Just
then
because you gotta.
don't say look at
You
this
always
then
gotta.
if you're not sharing it.
Wow.
And by the
you
way,
always-
what happened with the cursor thing? Was that your fault? Or
No,
my
it
fault?
wasn't my fault. No. It just wasn't
Well,
up.
then how
for
come
whatever
it
reason.
wasn't there? That doesn't make any
I don't
sense.
know. I don't know. I tried to cover for you by using my cursor, but I don't think that showed up. So
No, it
anyway,
didn't show up.
my apologies.
Because here I'm like,
I'm
oh,
all-
this guy and this guy and this guy, and then I'm watching it back and like, oh man, Balaz is right. Just how could you even watch this? It was embarrassing.
I'm sorry, man. Well, I tried to give people. I tried to say, oh yeah, he's in. The
Yeah, I know you
spot
did.
Here,
Yeah,
he's
I know.
there,
You're
whatever,
like, oh, you mean Savage? And I'm like, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was giving you. So I tried to cover you here. I'm a journalist, sports journalist.
Well, you didn't do that good a job.
Well, hey, all right. So let's look at this schedule here. All right. So come on. I know the Eagles are not unbeatable. Okay, they're not unbeatable. Plus, it's Sunday night game. I think it's going to be all about how the Packers approach it. If they run the ball and run it up the middle, they'll be fine. Okay, so I think they could win. I think next week they can win. Then you got the Bears. That's a win. That's 2 more wins. Then you got the Rams. Then you got the Rams. They can beat those guys too. Now the Dolphins, they might get lit up unless it's December 25th, Christmas Day. It's in Miami. Unless they decide to play soft, but I think if they play aggressive defense and blitz some, I think they could be okay. Then you got the Vikings. Vikings are chokers. Then you got the Lions. All these last 6 games are winnable. So you're telling me if they win all these games, you're telling me 10-7, they're not going to make the playoffs?
Dude.
You're telling me 9-8, they're not going to, even if they lose one of these, even if they lose to the Dolphins or the Eagles, I still think they make the playoffs at 9-8.
Lee, why in the crap, if he's got a broken thumb, why is he playing?
Because Brett Favre did. He's got to be like Brett Favre, remember?
And how did that season go when Favre had the broken thumb? I think we won 4 games. He drafted freaking AJ Hawk. That was a genius move.
Lee, reloading.
No, Jonathan's reloading.
Oh, Jonathan's reloading. I'm sorry. 12
Well,
thumb is broke.
This big B kid got a chance to go to the Dallas game and hang out with Rodgers and a bunch of crap, and he's like a make your wish guy.
Oh, okay.
And so maybe that's what Rodgers told him, was that it was broken. I don't know. But if it's broken,
like,
why the crap?
It's
your throwing hand. You shouldn't even be out there if it's your throwing hand and you can't even throw the ball.
Well, did you hear all, like, I like how everybody's posting all these things about Rodgers said, he takes the responsibility from the game. And he said that he had some bad throws and all this sort of stuff. And he did after he, pre-qualified those statements by talking about all the other, giving himself a bunch of excuses. And yeah, the thumb's been the same. And there's a little bit of wind. And there was literally he had like 3 before he acknowledged that he stunk up the joint. But
then why is he? Why is he playing? Why has he been playing this entire time? Love should have been in there this entire time, and we'd have 4 more. Period. We would have beat the Jets. We would have beat Washington. We probably would have beat the Titans last night.
Well, maybe, but we definitely would have beat those other teams because we would have run the ball in those games.
Yeah.
If Jordan Love was in, they wouldn't have thrown it.
We still would have lost
twice
to the Bills,
as much.
but
they wouldn't have thrown it twice as much as they ran it in those games. And they would have, if they would have been balanced, they would have won. Again,
we would have losses to the Bills and the Vikings.
Yeah. And every freaking game that they've lost, they have thrown it twice as much as they've run it. Every single game. One of the games they lost against the Bills, they actually ran it more than they threw it. But all the other games they lost, twice as many passes as runs. Can it really be that simple? I don't know. Maybe it is.
I don't know. But I'm sick of it.
Anyway, there's 6 very winnable games left, or at least 5 winnable games.
Can you
out of
stop
those
it?
6. No.
Can you stop it?
No.
Just stop it.
No.
Come on.
I think they can do it. I really do.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, with as mad as Matt LaFleur looked, and Matt LaFleur basically calling a dude out, I think he's ready to like put his foot down. So the next game's going to tell us, are there going to be changes made? Is he going to take charge of the team like he should, make the changes in approach for the defense, some personnel, and then say, damn it, Aaron, quit throwing all these balls behind the line of scrimmage. Just run the freaking ball on those plays. That was the one part about last night that I didn't get. I totally did not understand this. And I need somebody to explain to me, because a lot of people are like, oh, the Titans are terrible at pass defense and they gear up to play the run. Then why in the hell early in the game are we throwing all those short passes that are right in the zone where they can attack? They're already attacking everything short. Why the hell are you throwing them short? Throw it down the field then. If they're being that aggressive and you're going to not run it because they're being so aggressive against the run, then throw the goddamn ball down the field. Don't throw it at the line of scrimmage or these stupid quick outs where their guys are there and they attack and tackle them. Dumb.
It's dumb.
But nobody listened to me. I'm just kidding. That's a movie line. But anyway, how does that make sense? Like, if you're Aaron Rodgers, okay, and you want to attack this team, apparently, because that's what everyone says you should do, and you said we got to throw the ball down the field and all that sort of stuff, then why in the first half were so many of his throws those stupid run solutions and the quick, easy ones and all this sort of crap on dumb plays where there's literally everybody, like you have three guys out in front and you're going to throw it out to Aaron Jones behind him. You run him out there and you throw it, but there's three defenders out there. So every one of your guys has to get a block and sustain the block for that play to work. What are the chances of that?
Not very good with this
Dumb.
team. Another thing I will say from last night, can we please end the Alan Lazard experiment? I mean, that was some sad play last night by that guy.
Yeah.
Missed blocks.
He didn't even look like he
drop balls, giving up on routes. It was hard to watch.
Rodgers kept going to him though. That's also a problem, right?
He should have just why? And then why? All I know is this: Sammy Watkins should have been on the field. Never. Or Sammy Watson or Watkins, yeah. Christian Watson on the field every play. Randall Cobb every play. Those two guys came to play.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Jones. Why, when we got the ball like up after that big long drive, and they stopped him from on 4th and goal, did we have AJ Dillon in there on all three plays?
Don't know.
I mean, I get it. Maybe they're thinking, oh, we run AJ Dillon because he's a big guy and he'll get us a couple yards, so we're not all backed up. But I don't know.
And I'm sorry. Also, why does on that late in the game, 4th and a couple or whatever, and Aaron Rodgers chooses to run it there when they never run it in those spots?
Well, he thought they were gonna catch him off guard.
So he was happy to and you see he hands it off and just backs away. So if this isn't successful, it's not on me, guys. It's not on me. I didn't make the incomplete pass here. I already made a couple of big.
They had no chance.
Passes.
Like they were down by 2 scores. There was no chance they were coming back and winning. So
they still had an opportunity there.
No, they didn't.
And I guess we didn't get into special teams on the radio show. Apologize. But for anybody that's been paying attention, these short kickoffs are just, it's inexcusable. I mean,
they got to end.
Teams starting at almost the 40-yard line on a ball that you kicked off when all you got to do is kick in the end zone and they'll let it go and you don't have to cover and they start at the 25. Man.
It's sad.
All right. I do have one exciting play, crazy play from last night that made me happy and excited.
Rasul Douglas pick. That was the best one.
Well, that was really good too. You're right. That was a great play. The other play that got me super excited was Keyshawn Nixon's punt return where ball's bouncing around and most guys just let it die right there. And he's like, I'll just grab it. Guys all around him. He grabs it and freaking takes off and makes a big return. That dude trusts his hands. That was an impressive play.
It's crazy to watch him compared to watching Amari Rodgers all this time. Amari Rodgers looked like he was so scared to even touch the ball, much less try to catch it and field it. Where Nixon's like, I don't give a crap. Where is it? There it is. Okay, sweet. Boom. I'm gone. Like he has zero worries, like none. And it's just the difference in confidence is just a stark difference between the two of those guys. And how the heck they kept Amari Rodgers out there for a year and a half when he was obviously not the right guy for the job. And we all knew it a year ago. And they still tried to make it happen. And it pretty much made him, and that's the reason why they cut him. I don't know. It's sad. But
yeah, because if he wasn't in that position, he was just a backup receiver. This whole time, probably still be on the team, right? As a backup receiver.
He might go to Houston now and get some playing time and maybe do some good stuff as a receiver.
That play by Nixon was insane, though. It's crazy stuff, but dude, at least the guy's taking chances, trying to make a play. I'd rather have dudes that do that than sit there and do nothing. Same thing with the defensive approach. Lee points it out. Amari is to punt return to what Savage is to safety position.
Wait a minute. I didn't know we were doing the Wonder Rick again today or what?
I don't know.
That sounds like a Wonder Rick question. True or false? It's true. It's true, Lee.
Yeah, Lazard's not coming back. We know that.
God, I hope not.
That was surprising to see the lack of effort from him. Like, I don't know what was going on. It's like you said, certain guys. Tunyon made that one run and got a first down and was like so fired up to be like, okay, it wasn't that great, Bobby, but I guess you're trying to get the crowd fired up or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just pumped up that he ran with the ball a little bit after catching.
Yeah, he didn't fall down right after he caught it. Yeah.
But
he hit a guy and then he fell. So there you go.
But so there were guys that were into the game. Cobb, like you said, Watson, other guys, and then some guys that just looked like. And on that last, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, it's like, how is our oldest receiver is the guy who's the fire up guy on the team? Like he's the most fired up guy on the team is Randall Cobb. When he makes a huge catch, he gets fired. He's all like, "Wow, let's go!" You know what I mean? That's our guy who's fired up. He's like a dad, and like when you see him in interviews, like he's like a normal, regular. He looks like talking like a regular dad type guy. He doesn't even look like he'd be playing football if you saw him walking around.
He's a tiny little guy, although he looks like he's been working out. Like he looked kind of beefed up there last night.
He's been off for 4 weeks, so he's probably all he's been doing is working on his guns.
Yeah, he looked kind of.
I used to. Hey, 2 years ago, I had some guns. Dang it! Back when we did the area. Ben's calves compared to AJ Dillon calves video. I had some guns, man.
You should get an update on that again.
No, it doesn't look good. It looks pretty bad. My gut's way bigger.
I think
I've been getting fat and flabby. I got to do something.
Well, you do got to do something. And now it's cold. Now it's harder to do something.
Yeah.
You're not really an outdoor workout guy anyway, right? You like a controlled environment.
Yeah.
Indoor space.
Controlled with ice cream and some soda.
Lee says we need a reset button for a tight end position. Well, it's pretty much that. Or DeGuara will still be around next year.
DeGuara is awesome.
Well, you said a couple of lead blocks he had on some of the plays. I was like, damn, that a boy, DeGuara. Where are more of those plays? Oh, we're not going to run them anymore. Wait, we just got 9 yards. Let's never run that play again. All right,
great. That's freaking dumb.
He says at my age, I have pop guns. So, or David, I'm sorry, not Lee, David. I'm sorry.
Is that good or bad? I don't know.
I think it's bad.
I got cap guns. Every time I move my arm, it creaks, like makes a pop sound or creak sound. That's what he's talking about. I think I'm drunk tonight.
Look, it was disappointing though to see some guys like playing like this was a play, a do or die game, and other guys just kind of not. And Lazard, Rodgers, some of the guys on defense, it was sad.
The urgency was not there.
No,
and the problem is they draft some of these guys who don't have urgency. And we talked about it. I talked about it 2 years ago when we
Yeah.
did the end of the year debate show. And I said, I want a guy who's going to smack you in the face, and let's go. Let's get some guys who will do that. And, you know, I don't know. I think Quay Walker is actually, I mean, he got kicked out of a game for smacking a guy. So, you know, I mean, I guess he's probably a guy who can do it.
He had 11 tackles again last night.
So I just want to see him move to the next phase now and get some guys some playing time, have them gel, have the young nucleus of this team become the leaders, and just send the old guys out to pasture. It's time. It's time to get Rodgers out of there. Preston Smith, see ya. Adrian Amos, sorry, dude.
Preston Smith did pretty good last night. Overall.
Yeah, he's okay, but I don't know.
I mean,
I'd rather have Ingbare and Gary out there if everybody was healthy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they still played Jonathan Garvin way too much. I was like, why the hell is he on the field so much? TJ Slayton too much. Kenny Clark.
Yeah, TJ Slayton too much. Yeah.
Kenny Clark got. You know, they were talking about in the game last night, right? Oh, the Titans lost Ben Johnson and got this backup center who was a guard, and he's just trying to do this stuff. And then you see plays where he's just handling Kenny Clark, and I'm just like, what? Come on, man, let's go, Kenny Clark. You got to make an impact here, buddy. You get paid like you should make an impact, but I don't see it. Disappointing.
Yeah.
Jaron Reed was doing pretty good for the most part.
Oh, Lee said Preston was awesome last night. I don't even remember. I think he made he had 2
Preston
sacks,
but he was pretty. I mean, he had 2 sacks, but he also was getting pretty consistent pressure and doing some things, and he did well against.
Yeah,
the
but
run.
it doesn't matter when the corners and everybody's playing so far off.
I know, just dumb
because they were all completed passes most of the time.
It doesn't make sense what they're doing. That's why people are talking about fire Barry. You know, Barry's got to be gone at the end of the season. Fire his ass now. That'll shake some stuff up. This team needs a shake up. You know, they need a wake up and a shake up. And you cut a couple of players, but those weren't guys that were, you know, really getting significant playing time anyway. You cut a coordinator, you send him packing. I'll get some dudes, you know, attention.
I don't think it'll make any difference.
Well, we'll see what they end up doing. I'm holding out a little hope that Matt LaFleur is getting some cojones finally and gonna take charge.
Well, I wouldn't hold your.
Well, if he doesn't, he's gonna be out of a job before he knows it. So
he needs to realize that, and because if he doesn't do it, it's gonna have to be out too.
He can't just tie himself to Aaron Rodgers' success at this point. Like, he's got to take charge and do it his way, or he's going to be out of the job and Rodgers will just get a bunch of money and maybe play another year or two if he wants, and then he'll retire. And Matt LaFleur, you're just out of a job, dude. And you don't know if you get another chance. Freaking Hackett, same way, right?
Oh, he's going to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel sorry for him.
You'll get picked up by a team and you'll be an offensive coach, and maybe you'll get back to being a coordinator again at some point in your life. But you're not going to be a head coach again. And that's what's going to happen to Nathaniel Hackett. And that's did you hear some of the stuff going on there? I heard some people talking about it today. So the latest was certain people from within the Broncos are saying that Russell Wilson doesn't know the plays, is like calling audibles from his days at the Seahawks, and no one knows what the hell the audibles are. Have you heard this story before?
That sounds like another guy I know.
Have you heard this story before? And because of that, nobody knows what's going on. And then he's also calling a bunch of audibles and plays to Hackett's play calls. So, but Hackett's going to go down. Hackett's going to go down for it. Wilson just got the big ass contract, and he's not going down for it. Right?
No, but did it start like that?
I don't know. Well, and you know, Hackett's a super positive guy, and Wilson acts like a super positive guy, whether he is or not, who knows? And so I'm sure, you know, Hackett's trying to feed that positive energy and do all that stuff and be like, well, he's got a lot of, you know, we give him a lot of freedom to make decisions there and and all this stuff. But if he's changing stuff and it's not even the wording or language or whatever, Hackett said that was the first he's heard of it when someone pointed out to him the other day. But guys, that's the difference, right? Guys on the field, guys on the team, they know what's going on. Just like the Packers defensive guys, they watch film. They know what's going on with Savage and some of the guys that underperform. They know it. Just like when the Packers go back and watch this film, they'll see what Alan Lazard's effort looked like.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's holding anybody accountable, including number 12. As much as he talked about it a few weeks back, how he holds himself accountable and everybody's got to be accountable. And like, I don't think anybody's accountable. The coaches aren't. Nothing is. And now LaFleur is trying to be tough guy. He talked about it after the press conference, like everybody's going to take it and blah, blah, blah. And all. It's like, it's too late now. You said yourself, Matt LaFleur said the best teams are player-led teams. Wrong. Player-led teams, if you have superstars, possibly could be the best type teams. But if you also need some sort of like organization and cohesiveness, which we don't have. And that's the big difference. A lot of the teams, do you think the Patriots were player-led teams? Hell no. That was the coach and the coaching staff who told them what was going to happen and how it was going to happen. And that's how they won. And they understood situations. Look at Mike Vrabel and his guy. After they got caught offsides later on in the game, he makes sure his guy falls down and he got, ankle injury. You know who did that first? Bill Belichick. That's the first time I ever saw somebody do that was Bill Belichick. Where do you think he learned that, Bill Belichick? You know that Derrick Henry touch pass? I saw it last year. Why weren't the Packers ready for it? And I don't even watch that many Titans games, but I watched it in a game, Titan game. I don't know where it was, maybe highlights or something. I remember seeing him do it. Nobody's ready for that. I don't know.
So as a defensive player on that, okay, everyone has something to read. And yes, you're worried about the running back, and I get it. And everybody's like, well, it's such a tough play because you got to worry about Derrick Henry. Yeah, you do. But somebody has the assignment of that tight end on that play, on the defensive call, okay? And somebody, like certain guys read the guards. They don't actually read the running back, right? They read the guards or the offensive lineman, and then they recognize off of that whether it's a run or a pass, and then they stay to their assignment, or they're supposed to. On that play, somebody was supposed to read that tight end. And every time one of those tight end plays works, it's because the guy abandoned his assignment or abandoned his read or didn't look at the tight end, decided to look at the running back and stare at him. And then that's why you give that up.
Well, so look at the film and find out.
It's dumb. People do it. Happens all the time. That's why teams still run it. But I guarantee you that's somebody's assignment on that play. Uh-oh, Lee said he was coming. Hey, Lee, did you go to Cheesehead TV and tell him you were heading over to Hafeman Bros? Be like, I'm out of here, bums. I'm going to the really good channel over here for Hafeman Bros. Did you tell him that? Zero said he saw coming from the Nag stream. I don't know. Derrick Henry, too much of a force. Zero says, Zero, how you doing? The play always works for them. Dallas keeps losing. That opens up a wild. Yeah, I'm just saying. I know. Zero's with me. Zero, we got the positive vibes, baby. Yeah, you
Zero
and me.
is never positive vibes. He's talking to Rodgers.
He
He
is.
sucks to get him out of there and all kinds of crazy stuff. Now he's
So
saying
are you.
it's
Maybe.
good.
And maybe and he's talking about for Love right now. It's like, how much would it hurt if Love plays and looks outstanding?
Well, it would hurt a lot of things because we'd have to figure out what the heck to do with 12 if all of a sudden he wants to come back and we don't want him back. I don't want him back. I don't want him back this year, but that's not my choice.
When he goes off in the off season and leaves, just don't go visit him. Change your number. Change all your numbers on the Packers team.
Yeah, maybe he won't come back.
And when he comes back pretending to be some movie star, I'd be like, "Oh, Nick Cage, why are you here? We don't. I mean, it's nice to see you, but we don't have room for you."
Well, what needs to happen this year, if he thinks he's coming back, is LaFleur needs to sit down and be like, listen, I need you here for the offseason work.
The same thing they gave McCarthy gave Favre.
And if he says I can't do it, then we move on. Then we say, okay, well, we're done then. I don't want you here. I need a quarterback who's going to work with us all year long.
Wow, that would be so much irony the way this is all playing out. And if that were to end it, like that would be.
This whole thing is ending just like it almost. It's
I know.
really odd. It's really odd. Like how much Rodgers never wanted that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they asked him, how does it feel to be booed by the home crowd? And he was like, oh, it's interesting. Interesting. That's all I got for you. Well, what does that mean? That means you don't like it? You're appalled? You're shocked that the fans could boo you when you play like crap? When you've been a jerk all offseason and a jerk all season, and you've been wishy-washy and complaining for 2 seasons now? Yeah, they're going to be pissed at you when you freaking play like crap. You're making $50 million and you're throwing guys are wide open. You're missing them by freaking 5 yards and overthrowing it. And a guy who's 6'5" and Al Lazard, where he can't even touch the ball because it's freaking way too high on 3rd down. And then throwing up some wounded duck crap on 4th down when Aaron Jones is wide open. Yeah, they're going to boo you. They're going to boo you. Sorry. When you suck, you suck.
And we know playing quarterback isn't easy, but you've been playing quarterback a long time and you get paid a crap ton of money. So you should play it better than that, you know? Hey, Lee's here and he says, yep, I catch a live. She said TV here and there. He catches stuff I miss occasionally. Well, that's good. We know you're on top of your stuff, Lee. So you're probably on top of it more than She Said TV are.
Lee was asking if we were going to do a live.
We're doing a what?
And we tried doing that a couple times, but our feeds are off, and therefore I get pissed because Jason's ahead of me, and then I have to listen to him tell me what the play is, and then I get super mad. So I don't like doing that.
See, here's look at the contrast here. It's like Zero and me are on the same page. Just imagine the feeling if we somehow make the playoffs, and then here's Ben and Lee together. Who would have thought we'd be out of it by mid-November? Come on, man. Well, and Lee,
we are
Zero. Come back. Yeah, Zero. Positive.
Zero, did you get your cold? Like, is this like your mom or something, or your wife, or your whatever, somebody else, or husband, or I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. The 0 F's given doesn't mean anything to me, and I don't know what that picture is. But this doesn't sound like you. I think you've been hacked. Zero's been hacked. It's somebody else. It's Eckes. It's the ghost of Eckes.
I think it goes back to what Blas is saying. Something that's underrated about our shows is my positive energy and outlook about the overall Packer season. And I think Zero, I finally reached him. I finally reached Zero. At the same point that Eckes, the Packers finally broke Eckes, I've finally gotten through to Zero, and he's positive now.
What?
I don't know what else we got here. Oh, they're starting to fly now. Rick says, Eric, the Vikings are winning all their close games. That's true. That's why the Vikings have a good record. It feels good to root for a team that seems to need it. Okay, well, I think so. The Packers do need it. I get it. So maybe it's just because Zero thinks it's do or die. It is playoff time, Ben, for the Packers. They got to win pretty much every game here on out. Was it over when the Germans bought? Okay. David's
What's that from? What movie is that from?
David's going historical on us here. Well, that's just history, Ben. That actually happened. Or maybe that's not
Germans
right. No.
did Bob Pearl Harbor,
right.
idiot. Japan did.
Oh, that's right.
That's the point. It's a joke.
I got it
from like an idiot in a movie, but I can't remember what it is.
I got it. Well, I thought it was a history. Maybe that was a lesson I learned in history.
I think it's from Animal House, but I could be wrong.
Probably.
Which reminds me of the Pink Palace.
Lisa says they have a recipe to win, but 12 doesn't follow it.
Yeah.
Well,
but they don't. The other problem is, Lilo, they don't have the recipe on defense. They don't know what they're doing on defense.
Oh, yeah, Animal House.
That's the biggest issue. If the struggles were just because Rodgers not running the right play or whatever, and LaFleur's not calling the right plays, that'd be one thing. If the problem was just they're only scoring 17 points, but the problem is also that, hey, guess what? They're giving up a ton of points. They're giving up a bunch of yards and long drives and extended drives. What would have happened if they would have not stopped them on 4th down that one time? What would have happened if Rasul wouldn't have got that pick?
Yeah. It would have been way worse.
It would have scored 6 touchdowns. It would have scored 6 touchdowns against us.
What would have happened
they
if
weren't stopping them at all?
Right. What would have happened if late in the game, and especially 4th quarter, the Titans just stopped throwing the ball, but they chose to keep throwing it?
Why were they throwing it? That was dumb.
I don't know. They ran it. They had this big long drive, and then they got 1st down at like the 12 or 15, and they threw it on 1st down, threw it on 2nd down, and I was like, "Thank you, Titans, thank you," because if you had ran Derrick Henry here, you probably would have scored a touchdown by now, but they chose not to. So that did help us out a lot. That was Animal House.
Dumb.
As
this
you
defense looked terrible last night. I don't care what anybody says.
Packer fan 1933 says our owner Aaron Rodgers is a very stubborn man. Well, that's true.
Well,
he also thinks
he makes the most money.
Yeah.
There's no owner to tell him what to do or what not to do, and he's
Lee
the guy
says
that makes all the money.
And apparently Lee thinks the whole team is stubborn. Well, if they're too dumb to make changes in personnel and approach when it's not working, then yes, that's true. If their approach is the same as the old McCarthy, well, we just got to train and emphasize and work on the fundamentals. If that's what you're holding your hope out for, that you're just going to get better at things you're not good at, or that things that aren't working are just magically going to get better because you work on them, that is dumb, and that is stubborn, and that is the way you lose. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I think LaFleur's got it. I think he's mad enough that maybe he'll grow a pair and take charge. If that happens, I still have hope. You don't think it's going to happen? Okay, fair enough.
Even if he does, I don't believe in at this point.
You don't believe in LaFleur anymore?
No.
All right.
No.
Do you believe in him as an offensive coordinator? Like he can drop some good plays, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
He'll have 1 or 2 plays that are cool. Like the second touchdown to Christian Watson was awesome with all the movement. Randall Cobb moving, and then Aaron Jones moving this way, and all the defense like, what the crap? And then here's Christian Watson on the crossing route open. But for every one of those, there's 10 plays where guys just run straight. Now, is that Aaron Rodgers' offense? Yes. But why are you letting him do it?
Right.
Why are you letting him do it? There's evidence for the entire season of this crap not working and your crap working. And that's the biggest issue.
I have to look at the film.
That's the thing. The best thing to do would just frickin' sit his ass down. Don't play him. If a guy sucks, don't play him. Your job is on the line. Well, yeah, he's scared to tell Aaron though.
Yep.
Because he's got no power. Rodgers has all the power.
Yeah, 100%. But if I got to hear one more tough question answered like this, well, yeah, I don't know, Pete. I gotta look at the film. If I got to freaking hear that again,
LaFleur says it too. They both say it.
I know. Well, as you pointed out, though, the head coach has a different vantage point and does have a lot going on they can't see. The quarterback knows if he made a shitty throw or not, right? I mean, come on.
Well, he said he made crappy throws, but this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only way, and I'm going to be honest about this, and then I got to go because I've been on too long.
Yeah.
I got to work in the morning. The only way that I will believe in LaFleur, and I'll believe, not this season. This season is over. I don't know what you're thinking, but the only way that I'll believe in LaFleur as a coach is if he stands up to him and sits him down. Or at least shows me that he forces Rodgers to change the way he's playing. And where's Tom Clemens in all this? He's supposed to be the guy who's supposed to help get Rodgers back to being good, and he's just letting him do whatever. So, but that's besides the point. The biggest point is this. If LaFleur could sit him down and say, dude, Just do it my way. But Rodgers won't do it his way. So then the only way is to sit his butt down. And if he does, he will have the backing of probably 50% of the Packer fans right now. There's a lot of Packer fans who don't have faith in Aaron Rodgers at this point. A lot. And the national media has definitely turned on him. I watched a lot of stuff today. Whew. Everybody's saying he's done, he's washed, he's done, he's washed. They're all saying Rodgers stinks. He said he looks old. He's missed. He's playing like crap. Everybody saw this game. This is a nationally televised game. Everybody saw. And he missed wide open dudes left and right. And the only way for him to take the team back is to sit Rodgers' ass down and start Jordan Love. And if Jordan Love sucks, I don't care. That's not the point. The point is not if Jordan Love is good or not. The point is to show anybody who's on this team moving forward and into next season and beyond that I am the coach. Not Rodgers. I'm the coach. And if you got a problem with me, too bad. I'm the guy in charge. Right now, the players don't think he's the guy in charge. They know Rodgers wears the pants. So no matter what LaFleur does, he looks weak. At his press conference, he says he doesn't know what's going on. I got to see the film. He's all teary-eyed half the time. He looks like a guy who, would you follow that guy? He looks like a guy who, number one, doesn't know what he's doing. And number two, isn't man enough to take over the team when it's falling apart. So it seems to me like he's lost the team. If you ask me, if I was a player on that team, I would not look to Matt LaFleur at this point. I don't know who I'd look to lead us, but it sure wouldn't be him. And I sure wouldn't look to Rodgers either, because he's showing he doesn't give a crap anymore. One guy shows he cares too much. The other guy shows he doesn't care at all. So who do you look to? Who can lead the team? And how much was Nathaniel Hackett a leader on the team? How much was he a guy who players look to on?
Well, and he was a guy too that, I mean, picked everybody up and, maybe kept him loose and kept him happy. I don't know what he would have done in a situation like this. I guess try to keep the positive vibes going. But look, I feel like LaFleur cares about it a lot and he gets frustrated.
Well, yeah, it's obvious.
But he's not. But like you're saying, he's always come off to me, even in his very first press conference and beyond, as a guy that wasn't necessarily sure of himself. You can tell that in the way he answers questions and the way he delivers when he's talking. It's like I don't know. He just doesn't seem like he's a guy that should be a head coach. And Rick pointed that out earlier too in a comment that he's good at offensive coordinator material. Just like Zero saying here too. Well, I think he is. I think he can. If given the opportunity to focus on that, he can understand how to call games and design.
Let me ask you a question.
All right. I thought you were done.
No, I want to ask you. I want to be done, but
That's
pissing me off. So I got to say stuff. Jeff Saturday showed up for the Indianapolis Colts this week. Everybody had a damn heart attack because they signed some former player who never coached jack squat before. But you know what? He's a guy who played in the NFL for 12, 13 years. He was a Pro Bowl center. He freaking was around. He was on a Super Bowl winning team.
He's a Pro Bowl center with the Packers too, remember?
Well, yes, that's true.
That was hilarious.
He wasn't even a starter anymore, but he made the Pro Bowl. Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
But anyways,
I'm sorry to throw you off.
But the difference was he showed up and he was like, hey, I'm going to do it my way. And this is how we're doing it. And apparently over the offensive line of the Colts, like just reaming their asses because they sucked. They're like, what are you doing? And he was like getting on them. He's like, listen, this is how you win games, offensive line. And he was a leader on the team for years, so he certainly knows how to lead men in the football field. Look at Mike Vrabel on the other side of the field. Did he look like he had control of everything that was going on around him? You bet your ass he did. Did he look like he freaking knew what was going on? Oh, yeah. He's tough-minded, and he's willing to do things. And I'm not saying you have to be a former player, but you do have to have the mindset that I'm in charge. And from the moment Matt LaFleur showed up, when Aaron Rodgers, the first thing we heard out of his mouth was talking about the ability to audible. And that was the first blow to the chink of Matt LaFleur's armor. And then it just kept going and going and going to the point where he lost all control. They ran the offense in 19 pretty well, and they were successful. And it was good. And then they changed the offense because Rodgers wanted it. Well, that's more power you're giving them. Then last year, they ran the Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams offense, which you lost even more power to him. And you acquiesced to him, and you let him do whatever he wanted. And by doing that, you lost control, any control you had, that from the start, over and over. You blame the defensive coach, you let them go. See, but Holmgren, that's the other thing, though. Okay, anyways.
Keep
What
going.
I'm saying is this.
Perspective.
I'm just saying, if I was a player on this team, I would not believe in him.
I got you.
Okay? And now, there's probably some plays, like the touchdown play I talked about. I would believe in that. The other thing that happened in the Colts game, Chris Sims said this. He said that Jeff Saturday and the Colts ran like 3 different running plays, and that was it the whole game. Because they worked. And they're like, oh, we're going to do that again. We're going to do that again. We're going to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
That's
the other
the
thing
way
is when you call plays, you want to call plays that set up other plays later. Right?
Yeah.
And they don't do that. They're all over the place. You're under center. You're in shotgun. You got guys over here. You got guys over there. You got guys moving in motion. But then for a whole drive or 3 plays in a row, you're just sitting back in shotgun and just winging it. There's no cohesiveness to the offense. There's no setting plays up later. And none of this could happen. So he's got to stand up and he's got to take charge. The only way for a player to believe in this guy is if he takes charge. If he sits Rodgers down and it doesn't let him play, and you could use the thumb, and maybe Rodgers would be like, I'm not sitting down. And he'd be like, okay, well, then get the hell out of here. Now, he's got to have the backing of Murphy and Gutekunst, which he probably isn't going to have because they're both scared of Rodgers, too. And they should be. They should have never frickin' signed the deal, but it's too late. Now they did. And the only way to get the power back is to sit his frickin' diva baby ass down. You sit the diva baby down, you take control of the team for the rest of your duration on the team. You may go down in flames, but you'll go down as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Not as some guy who just lets Aaron Rodgers do whatever the hell he wants all the time. Because that's what he is right now.
Yeah, look where they got Mike McCarthy, right?
Same thing. Mike McCarthy, well, he got canned. Because Rodgers threw the ball away 51 times. He's like, I don't care. You got 4 wins, whatever. Because he didn't take any blame. McCarthy took all the blame.
Mm-hmm.
And if LaFleur couldn't figure it out after the Tampa Bay loss in the playoffs, when it was his fault because he didn't give Rodgers the chance. Well,
I heard that again today, which is some BS.
If you would have given Rodgers the chance, you know what? It would have been your fault again because you went for it. Why didn't you kick the field goal there when you were... It's all the same crap.
Rodgers had plenty of chances in this game to come through, and he didn't come through any of the times.
That's right.
And then his last chance, he handed off to Aaron Jones, and they got stuffed. If you're the king cheese of the team and you want to be the guy that takes it all on 4th and 3 or whatever, I'm not handing that off. Come on, Aaron. You're supposed to make the play, man, but you missed a bunch of plays, so piece of crap. Look, you're 100% right. Lee's right, backing you up there. Packers fan 1933, Packer fan 1933 says it's kind of funny, but not. They created a monster out of Rodgers. Hell yeah, they did. And Goody just needs to trade him. Well, that ain't happening right now. But the thing that can happen is what you said. And don't you think, based on everything that's gone down, now would be the best time to do it? Because the fan base, you're going to get the least amount of pushback from the fan base at this point if you challenge him. One thing I want to see is this. What you'd said, LaFleur's only other option is to sit Rodgers down and say, we're doing it this way. And if you don't do it this way, I'm pulling you.
That's what you have to do. And pull him in the game.
In game,
I mean,
start him,
make
and the
it
first
clear.
time he goes
You are
off,
the head. That's right. You know what the damn play was called.
Right.
You know what you damn called the play. And if he changes it, then you sit him down right away. You take him out. And if he won't come off the field, then you get security and you get his ass off the fucking field.
And you don't even wait until the series is done. Like, let's say it happens on like a second down. You trot Jordan Love out there and say, Aaron, head to the sideline, buddy, and see what the hell happens on that. Oh my God, would I love to see that in game on a play where they're still on the field and they just trot Jordan Love out there.
That's insane. I mean, I would do it, but
that would be awesome.
do it.
I'd tune in for that.
There's no other way for him. Like, it's done. Like, I don't think the team is backing him. I don't like the players. I don't think they believe in him. I don't believe in him.
I wonder how many of the defensive guys would get behind that though, because they've seen it.
I think they all would.
Yeah.
I think every defensive player would be like, yeah, you know what? Because like I talked about this the other day.
And you point
how
out
many
some of the
guys
offensive
on
guys
this
too.
team? Yeah, but how many guys on this team? Think about it real close. Think of the leaders on the most vocal leaders on the team. How many of them guys have actually been playing? Their playing time is ticked up in the last 2 years. Okay, Rasul Douglas, Rashawn Gary, Devondre Campbell, right? Eric Stokes. So there's a lot of guys right there. TJ Slayton, I don't know, some other guys. Then a whole bunch of backup guys. And on the offense, Josh Myers, John Runyon. I know this is his third year, but he didn't start the first year, really. Jenkins seems to be frustrated with Rodgers based on the film from last week, or from the Lions game.
Yeah, those are great catches by you.
Yash and the receivers, the only guy who's really, Lazard and Cobb are the only guys who really, I think, would back Rodgers over Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Jordan Love was the quarterback all offseason working with him for the last 2 seasons. Rodgers was nowhere to be found. Okay. 2 years ago, he was contemplating retirement or whatever, being a whiny baby about not wanting to come back. Let slip on draft day and wasn't there for the offseason work and all that stuff. Well, who was the guy working there? Jordan Love. Jordan Love was the guy working with everybody. This year, he signed his big contract, got his big dough, then took a 6-month vacation. Who was the guy there? Jordan Love. So the young guys who have watched this team and been on this team for the last 2 years and 3 years have watched their quarterback go up against the 49ers in the playoffs and have 9 consecutive drives with no points and only score, and lose to a team where they didn't give up like anything. The defense gave up 3 points in that game and they lost. And now they're trying their best, but after a while, how many times are you going to work your butt off on defense and then your offense can't do anything because your quarterback won't throw the ball or he's chucking it deep or doing crazy crap? He's nice that you ran against in when, like, that's what I want to know. How different is the offense they ran in preseason compared to the offense that they ran all offseason working with Jordan Love? And the guys that were in, working in the offseason program saw that the offense run with Jordan Love at that point. You know what I mean? And now when Rodgers shows up, are they seeing the difference on defense? And also, of course, offense, obviously, they would see the difference. They have to run it, so they would know it. But like the defense would see the difference. And we were at practice, and we saw how terrible the offense was. The defense shut them down. We thought the defense was awesome. It turns out our offense is just crap. But was that the same way in the offseason? When they were working on stuff? Was the defense maybe better then? And was the offense maybe also better then? Maybe it was more productive? Seemed like guys were moving around better. Things were happening more. The play calls were more developed and more interesting instead of just run around and win your one-on-one matchup crap. That's all I'm saying. I think there's a lot of young players on this team who are going to be the nucleus of the team moving forward for the next couple of years. And their guy who has been there in the offseason 2 years in a row is Jordan Love. Their guy who's been the leader on the offense is Jordan Love. It's not Aaron Rodgers. So would they be would the change shock them, or would the change give them a chance to get behind their quarterback? I think it would. It might be crazy. The fans might lose their crap, half of them, but the other half might be behind it.
Yeah.
There comes a time,
and to get the attention of all the other guys that are slacking off.
Right. I mean, if you sit Aaron Rodgers down, and you don't even have to. Here's the other thing: in the public, and even to the team, you could say it's the thumb. We're putting him on IR because of the thumb. You can even say that. Now, everybody would know that wasn't the reason. But you could say that that's the reason, so that the fans don't freak out. And then Rodgers might come out and say, well, that's not the reason. They sit me on IR because they don't want me anymore. And then be like, okay, then get the hell out. Bye. See ya. Boom. I know I'm crazy. I'm saying a lot of crazy stuff. I need to go home or go to bed or whatever. It's 9 o'clock. Damn it. I've been talking for another half an hour. Shut me up. Tell me to shut up.
Hey, I just cleared it up.
This guy.
Zero was asking who the wide receivers coach was, and then we said it was Jason Vrabel, and I said the best thing about him is his first name.
It should be Sterling Sharp.
No, Sterling Sharp. Just think about that. If we had Sterling Sharp, wide receivers coach, Tremont Williams, D-backs coach, Leroy Butler, safety coach, Tremont could be corners coach, Leroy safety coach. Oh my God. You can actually teach these guys how to play football.
Like, Leroy lives around here, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to, he doesn't have to be a coach, but pay him a little extra money to be a consultant.
Yeah, come in and work with these dudes.
And have him come in like once a week or something and just be like, and just sit in on the safeties and be like, Savage, here's what I'm seeing. And this is what we did back in the day. And, it's different now maybe, but just give him something. I mean, and I know Jerry Gray used to play, so that's great. But Jason Vrabel didn't play wide receiver in the NFL. Okay. No. And I think Randall Cobb is a great guy.
Steno was a very average offensive lineman, or below average, yet he was supposed to be the guru coach, right?
Well, I mean, was James Campen a freaking amazing offensive linebackers? No, but he's one of the greatest coaches. He was okay. Yeah. He wasn't like anything to write home about. He's no. Was Herman Fontenot offensive lineman? I can't remember anywhere.
Herman Fontenot, I don't remember. I don't remember that one. What else you got? Packer consultants, every position. Yeah, that would be good. A bunch of former players. That would be smart. And yeah, we don't know. Rick says, don't know if love is the answer, but moving on from 12 needs to happen at some point. Look, and also two things can shake them up. I mean, Matt LaFleur has to take charge and institute one or both of these things. One, give ultimatums to Rodgers and Joe Barry. I would do both of those. And tell Rodgers, we're running the ball. We're not doing this passing twice as much as we run, because every time we do, we lose. We're freaking running the ball. We're doing passes off of the action. That's how we're running this offense. You don't want to play quarterback like that. We can give you the excuse that your thumb hurts, and we can put you on IR. If you agree to play quarterback like that, and all of a sudden you choose to do your own thing, you go off script on me again, you're out. And then Joe Barry, you're like, look, dude, I've been telling you to be aggressive forever. You choose to not be. If first time you call a non-aggressive defense or one of these soft ass zones on a third down, or soft man on this third down, you're out. You're out, and I'm turning it over to this guy, and you can just go twiddle your thumbs or whatever.
If I was Matt LaFleur, and he's been visibly upset with the off coverage.
Yep.
How can you keep watching this happen and not like fire the guy or get on the guy or whatever? Like, I don't know about Mike Wall. Mike Wall thinks that Billy Turner's good.
Mike Wall also said, your only value is if you can win your one-on-one matchup is the only value you have as a player. And if you can't do that, you have zero value to me.
Zero value, except only half the players win their one-on-one matchups because
on any given play, yeah.
Yeah. So that means half the players in the NFL have zero value. It makes I know. It doesn't make any sense.
David has it. I want to enjoy watching the Packers play football again. Me too, David.
Well, David, if you have no expectations, which is what the Dallas Cowboy game was, I enjoyed watching that game. whether they won or lost. But I got expectations again this week, and that's why I didn't enjoy it, because I saw all the flaws and it just drove me nuts. And if they played hard and if they had a backbone, it'd be different. You know, like when you watch the Lions play, they suck, but you know what? They're trying their asses off. Watch a Tennessee Titans game. I actually watched the Tennessee Titan game the other day. The 30, like I can watch it in 30 half an hour. The super speed on the NFL Plus. Those guys stink, but man, they're working their asses off. And then you watch a Packer game, and you got guys half-assing their routes and missing blocks left and right, and playing off coverage and not trying to cover a guy late in the game, like Jair. What the fuck was that? And then frickin' Rasul, there's a play on Rasul where I don't know what he was doing. It pissed me off so bad. And then he made that awesome pick, so he saved his ass after that. But yeah, the Saints, the Saints play hard. They got their talent is depleted as too. They had so much salary cap issues, but I don't know.
But their quarterback Andy Dalton has a better QBR and yards per game than Aaron Rodgers. Just a heads up.
Oh yeah.
So do a lot of guys, though. I mean, he's way down there in yards per game and QBR. He's way down there.
Yeah, Jonathan, Giannis is better than Jordan. You mean Michael Jordan? Yeah, Michael Jordan sucked. I said it.
Well, Giannis,
people think I'm crazy.
Giannis is a monster, and also he's not an asshole like Jordan was. Giannis works his ass off, and he's still a good guy. So Jordan was a hard worker, but he was a dick to pretty much everybody.
When Jordan was young, and he was an athletic freak, he was fun to watch.
Then he got all the calls.
But once he started getting all the calls, then he was just cheap, lazy asshole sack of shit. And being a Bucks fan all those years, watching him get all the damn calls. I mean, first of all, we had to deal with the stupid Pistons and their bullshit. Then we had to deal with the stupid Bulls after that with their bullshit. It's a bunch of crap. And I don't know.
Giannis gets fouled.
To get me started.
Giannis gets fouled a lot, and they don't call
Yeah, well, he leads the NBA in freaking free throw attempts per game.
I know, but he also gets fouled a bunch of times. They don't call anything. He just keeps playing. He plays through. He didn't whine and bitch about it. He plays through it and just finishes. And that was something that they showed in the the Disney movie The Rise or whatever. And I assuming that was true. When he's a skinny dude, they're like, you got some skill, but you got to learn how to finish through all this contact, because guys are going to foul the hell out of you, especially a skinny little dude. And if you can't finish and you can't shoot free throws, you're going to be useless. So he finishes. He still can't shoot free throws sometimes, but anyway, yeah. Lions do have heart. Barkley could take G in the post. Oh, you think Barkley could take Giannis in the post? All right, Rick. Now it's getting thick over here. All right.
I want to play some Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam.
Shut Up and Jam.
That's what I want to play. That was a great game.
Was it really?
Was that the game yeah, that was the one where you just punch the guy in the gut and then steal the ball.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a Barkley game. Yeah.
That was awesome. I love that game. I think I bought it again for the Sega Genesis. I still have a Sega Genesis somewhere in the house.
Oh shit!
Remember that game, Rick? That was a great game. Barkley, Shut Up and Jam.
Well, we're way past the Packer content, but that's all right. Okay,
I gotta go to bed. I gotta work at 5 in the freaking morning again for the.
You gotta go to your daughter's. And you got to go to your daughter's musical sometime, right?
And I gotta clean the bathrooms because they're gross.
Dang it! Rick points out Chuck could nail the threes, and probably also NBA Live 95. He could nail the threes too.
Yeah, he couldn't nail them in anything else though. Thing is, they had all these fictitious made up guys, from all over the country, and you'd have to go to the different cities and like beat them, and then they could join your team or whatever.
Yeah. All right, time to sign off.
It was awesome.
Be good, stay good, everybody. No Packer game this weekend. Enjoy the Vikings and Cowboys, because at least one of those teams will lose, and it's fun to watch both those teams lose. So somebody will lose, right?
I guess that's what has. Well, they could tie.
That's what we're. Well, that's true, but that's what we're down to now as Packers fans. We gotta. The enjoyment can only come from a team that we hate losing. That's all we get. So, oh well. All right. Be good. Stay good. We'll be back next week.
Find